the running back field, want me rugged dance hall echoes. For a pop, boom, boom, for a pop, boom, boom. Midnight reflects, raise screams on the open station.
All right. Talofa, and welcome back to another episode of the USO NRL podcast. No, just kidding. Kiwi NRL podcast. Today in the studio I am joined, just myself, with the great man himself, Sam Brill. How are you, mate?
Good after a long, good weekend of sport, but unfortunate about the first day. But all my other teams won, bar the Kiwis.
Oh, come on, man. What about the cricket?
Well, we didn't play on the weekend.
Oh, was that during the week?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
My Colts won today, so I'm bloody happy.
Don't even know who they are, so it's great.
How about you, Mr.
And I'm,
Mr.
tell you what, day for it.
Licorice all sort.
Day for it. Licorice. Better beer. Trying another beer. You know, great, mate. Great. It was a quite sunny day, so I got a bit of yard work done whilst doing some shit in the home office. Yeah.
It's always a good one, eh?
Obviously, wasn't a great start to the Saturday.
No, it wasn't,
The Kiwis lost, but, you know, we'll get into that later on.
Depressing.
But I better do a shout out to our bloody brilliant sponsors. Fit Zone, bringing a great health and fitness experience to a local community, rural local community near you. Matamata, Te Aroha, Paeroa, and of course Waihi. So shout out to them, the good buggers. Get along there if you want to get fit for summer. It is too late. It is not too late to get into shape. So get in there. All right, we'll get straight into it with a couple of year on ours. All right.
Properly.
And we'll do a little bit of I'll go first. No. I'll go. Let's go. Madge, does he keep his job? Sammy, you can start us off. Do you think he's done enough to keep his job as the Kiwis coach moving forward?
We actually we touched on it last night up in the studio with Mike Ped Sport, and it was actually quite good to hear everyone's thoughts around it, because everyone had different sort of opinions.
Yes.
But I reckon he does. He deserves to stay there. He's actually real passionate about the Kiwis, and even though he's Aussie, blah blah blah. And I think we talked about it on the way home last night after a couple of beers, and it was at this moment he's the you put the best man for the job, and Kiwi or not, we need the best coaches out there, and I think he's good for us. He's got a good ethos in the team and everything like that, so it's bloody good.
Yeah, mate. It's probably a year for me as well. I think if you think of when he took it over, from the Keys to the Argentinian defence coach David Kidwell, when he took over from that shit show, his main task, I remember him saying, was to put respect back into the jersey and really create that sort of culture with it, which was awesome. I think he's done enough. I think, like you said, he's the gap between Australia and New Zealand is a lot closer than it was. Yeah. After that World Cup, we got beaten by Tonga. So, and we've beaten Australia since then, and we've beaten Tonga multiple times.
And especially having that young team like we do, it's huge going forward. And he's now got a team he can brood through to the next sort of World Cup or something like that. So, well,
it starts straight off the bat. But like he's said, and like everyone else has said, we need more international games of footy. Yeah. Won't come in the form of an international window during Origin, but they've locked in October for, I'm guessing they'll do a kind of like a Four Nations
I hope so.
Pacifica Cuppy thingy, which will be great. But yeah, for me, he keeps his job. He's done just enough, like we said on the show on Mark Ped Sport yesterday.
Got it right.
It's purred.
Purred.
What did we say on the show? Madge.
Lot of dribble.
Oh, even though there's some selection calls, which won't be just him.
Yeah.
Hashtag taps up front.
I think even I agree with that now. So.
Yeah, I just think apart from that, he's done a brilliant job, and the players really speak highly of him. So no, good on you, Madge. It's a yes from me. So now you can keep your job.
Shot, brother.
All right, the next year on our we've got is that Freddie Fittler's come out and said we just need to do away with the kind of how the international eligibility and the state of origin works, and just you pick your state. If you're in Australia before the age of 14, you pick your state and then you pick your country, and it doesn't have to be Australia. Thoughts on that, Sammy?
So,
being a Blues supporter as well.
Being a Blues supporter, and I was up quite early this morning watching the All Blacks, and I think I read it last night. It must have been last night. He came in and said it because I was thinking about it in the morning, and I'm torn because you either create a system where it's black or white, or you create a system where, hey, this is the fucking rules.
Yeah.
You're either an Australian, you play for Australia, and that's it. And that's
one or the other.
It's one or the other.
And
I think why he's come out and said that is because a lot of his players play for Samoa and Tonga.
Yeah.
So
it changes the other way around. So that becomes like if they become tier ones, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he may lose those players. That's why he's chipped in early about it. So I don't know if he's playing the, coming off the back fence sort of game. It's I'm 50-50 about it, but there has to be a decision made either this summer. Yeah,
I think we can't go on as it is. Personally,
no,
it's a bit of a mess.
It is like this year sort of showed that too.
And then, especially from a Kiwi perspective, it becomes quite, against us in the fact that, like I've said so many times before, we can be born and raised in New Zealand, pop over the ditch at 14 or 13, play footy over there, and if you've got Samoan parents, that means you're eligible for Samoa, State of Origin, Australia. But you can never play for the Kiwis. So it's like I'm positive Kalen Ponga probably would have played for the Kiwis if he was allowed to, but still play Origin.
And I reckon if our system was better when he was training with us, it might have made his decision easy. But obviously he's grown up over there. Yeah, he is actually Australian effectively. But same with Val
he was born there and then came back.
Yeah,
done quite a bit of his schooling here though.
Yeah, so it's because he went back over there when he was like 15 or something.
So born Aussie,
to
Kiwi parents, went back to New Zealand, then went back to Aussie, and I think I'm pretty sure he said it or I can't remember who said it, but there was talk that if he could do Origin and play for any other country, he would have picked New Zealand. So.
So that's what sucks about it. Obviously, the money's in Origin.
Yeah, money
talks with everything. The carrot is dangling right in front of you like that.
I just don't think it's great for the international game
it's terrible.
To jockey one off the other. I think separating the two is probably the best thing to do.
Yeah, and it needs to. It's just like, for international rugby, now you've got that stand down period. That needs to be adhered to, I think. That needs to be put into writing, and everything like that. So, because I can imagine after this World Cup year, the Tall Samoa bloody team, some of those players go, I want to play for Australia now.
Go back to Australia,
So
which becomes a little bit of a joke.
It poo-poos the whole, it makes a mockery of the whole tier system as well.
Yeah, I think what will happen, I think I'd like to see them fully scrap the tiers.
Yep.
If you were an Aussie before the age of 14 and playing junior footy there, and you're from one of those states, then you select your State of Origin team, and if you're eligible for New Zealand or any of the islands or whatever, you can play for them. You don't have to play for Australia.
Yeah, so the thing is, if Samoa end up winning this World Cup, that's just going to throw a complete spanner in the works with everything, because you're still going to have this tier system if they still adhere to it.
And then it becomes, from a New Zealand perspective, it becomes very unfair that they get to play Origin and we don't.
Or same as England as well. So
and England, yes, with Victor Radley being the key case.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I know he wants to play for the Blues. He could have played for Australia, I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon he could have.
It was a big call for him to do that. But he obviously, it's something he would have thought about a lot, and it must have meant a lot for him, to do that for his dad. So, but I mean that's one case, like you said too. It'll be good for. He still wants to play Origin, but he knows what he.
So what? So is there any Kiwis at the moment that are actually eligible to play for Australia?
In our Kiwis team at the moment,
because it could work. And against us as well.
Yeah, I guess.
But I don't think there is. But
I guess, but they would have had made that decision based off Origin, I guess. Yeah. So I think that's kind of would have stopped that anyway.
I guess we're lucky in that regards that the guys that want to play for the Kiwis actually want to play for the fucking Kiwis.
Yeah. There's no other.
Yeah. There's you got Isaac Liu who could play for. Is he Tongan? Yeah, Tonga.
Is he?
Sorry, Samoan. And Nelson can play
for Samoa as well.
Samoa as well. So
Leota,
Mulitalo.
So
if that's what I'm scared about Samoa winning this World Cup, is they could possibly draw those players over.
Yeah, I mean, they could over to Samoa. I already seen someone do a cheeky post, which I thought was very uncool. They put like the photos of like Molitalo, and it was Dill Brown because he's actually Samoan. Is
he?
Yeah. And just basically call him out and say you should have played for us or something.
Yeah, but fuck.
But it's like, mate, I don't really like that because there's plenty of boys in that team that have Māori heritage as well.
Yeah.
And we don't do the old.
Yeah.
You should be playing for us. Like you shouldn't be playing for them. Like Danny Levi and
what about Luai? Is he?
Tavita Harris and Luai's Māori as well.
He's Māori as well. Yeah.
There's plenty, so it goes in 100 different directions. So whoever's doing that shit, I don't like it. Yeah. So yep.
But that's why it's such a joke.
Yeah.
Is, it's just like, oh, I'll do this one day and go fucking.
Yeah, I think what they need to do is scrap the tiers.
Yeah.
Put Origin by itself, and at your start, you put down the country you want to play for.
Yeah.
And there's no second other team.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what's great about rugby union. It's just that's what it is.
Mm.
And then if you want to fucking play for your parents' country,
yeah,
you got to wait 4 years or 3 years now. I think it is.
They need to still have that. 2 would be ideal.
I know. I like the 3 because
shit. Because Tonga and Samoa are still getting fucking pumped, and yet in league you've got Tonga and Samoa like beating better countries. I don't say that league are doing it perfectly, but I think 3 is still a long time, bro.
No, because I think I like 3 because you look. Maybe not TJ Perenara because he just came back into the All Blacks after a year. A year, but 2 years you can earn your spot back in the team if you needed to. Where 3 years means, hey, I think that the extra year is the gap that is imperative to that decision to that allegiance. And
it must be, but there's so many of the guys that have, even if they play one test, like there's. So what does the All Blacks 15 mean? What does that do? Does that effectively give them a test? No, it doesn't count.
It's not a test. It's just a development team.
Okay, sweet. So that won't count against them.
No.
Oh, that's good.
No, because it's not a test match per se. They can play against, say, if they played against like a Chile or something like that. It's still not a test match. It's an international match.
Okay, there you go.
And that's what it's classed as, an international match.
Yeah, I think out of everything, it's just brought up. I think it's better for league with having those stronger teams. It makes it more of an international game than it was beforehand.
Yeah.
I think that this World Cup's definitely shown that. I agree.
And just off the back of it as well, we talked about it on the radio last night as well. Was the World Cup setup as well?
Yeah.
And
that needs a bit of overhaul.
Yeah, that comes with the tier thing as well.
Yeah.
So
scrap the tiers. That's going to be a new hashtag. And I think I like Brad's idea of like a 5 or 6 pool.
Yeah.
2 pools.
Yeah.
You play each other once, don't have a quarters, you have a semis. I like that.
Oh, see, I like the quarters situation because
you're a fan of the quarters.
I love the quarters because Oh,
you could do that because he said 6 teams.
Yeah, 6 teams.
Pull it back to 5.
Yeah.
They still play a quarter, a semi, and a final.
And that's why you do a pre-World Cup thing to earn
for those last 2 spots almost.
For that 6th spot, you got your top 5, and then the bottom team. They play
each other, all 6 teams or something for those 2 spots.
All 6, and Then
they get those bottom runs of each pool.
And then plus, once again, that is exposing. They've got their own little pre-competition, so they're exposed to international
more games. Yeah. Probably be televised, all the rest.
So it can only be beneficial, man.
Yeah, I think the 4 pools was too much.
Yeah, it's hit and miss because one team gets a easy ride.
Yeah. And that's like Brad said, like, if you had 2 pools, then it would be like New Zealand, Australia, and then Tonga or Samoa, and then you'd have England, Tonga or Samoa, and some of the you're just going to have a lot better, stronger games throughout the tournament.
And that's what you want. You want good footy. You don't want
hidings.
100-point
hidings.
Yeah, scoring tries is good, but fucking good footy, good close footy, heart in your throat situation is also good in itself.
Yeah, it's better. It's way better. That's what you want.
Gets us angry too.
Gets you angry. Creates some of the best moments of your life, but some of the worst. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. We'll go into the Kiwis game. We'll have a bit of we'll wrap the game, and then we'll go into the tourney as a whole. couple of points. What's your 2 key points basically for where do you think we lost it?
So
2 points.
So my first point is we did the hard mahi at the start in that first half, and then we let them back into the game in that first sort of 10, 15 with field position, that they kicked for territory and they pinned us back, and that's where we sort of let them have it because we got fuck all ball in that second.
Yeah, and then we had that little stint near the end where we were getting the position back, and it's just like...
Too far, too gone. And, one thing that was also good is we finally played through the middles.
Yes.
We bashed the fucking front door down.
I know, that was great.
It was good. And then,
How close?
Yeah. But it just showed also for me how good actually Australia is. They can be put under the pump, be composed, and still, be good enough to win.
1 by 2.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the calibre of player, like, that play from Wyden was crazy.
Yeah. And Latrell, man, he did nothing on attack, but shit,
he was solid, and even under the high ball. I haven't seen him catch much high ball recently, but
he swallowed that.
But he was they were putting him under a lot of pressure,
and he was just not phased. He didn't get angry at all. Once I was real surprised because he's a player of frustration.
You want him to get angry.
But he kept his cool. Even at the end of the game, he wasn't yahooing or anything like that. He was just like, I did my job. I'm fucking.
Yeah, no, it was good from Chelmett.
It actually showed a bit of class for once in him. Because he can be quite boisterous and quite...
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that Fox's try, man.
Oh, that was...
Because the thing
was tough, man.
But that was a good set from us.
It was a very good set from us, and defensively.
Rapana smoked him too at the other end, and then Rapana then clocked off and then let it bounce, and then it didn't bounce.
There was just miscommunication between Manu and...
Because Manu was running that way, so I think they were kind of both looking at the ball, but the bro probably could have seen him coming, but anyway. And he just times it. Of course he does, eh?
Yeah, I know. I was semi-stoked for him because I was like, fuck, that was a mean try.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's Australia, eh?
Yeah.
Just when you've got them under the pump and everything else, they do something jammy like that, and you're like...
But the thing is, with a team like Aussie, they're going to get the jammy calls. They're going to get the rubber the green.
That's why you got to be relentless.
Yeah.
Ruthless.
Yeah.
And I think like that 10 minutes in the second half, 10 to 15 minutes.
And not hug someone after the haka. Oh, that pissed me off a little bit.
Yeah, I know they're buddies, but...
Yeah, come on, man. Do that after the game.
You know what? See what Isaac Luke done that time when... You need to... Like, it's your mate. You'll have a beer afterwards. You give him a shove, don't you?
Yeah, fucking you give him...
You give him the bloody shove.
Give him the bloody,
Because
David Kibble treatment.
And then he smiled.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, that takes the aggression out of the haka. That's what the haka's there for, aggression. It's intimidation.
I guess they're really good mates because obviously they've played a lot together and they are really good mates. But it's like, if that was one of my mates and he was smiling while I was doing it, that would make me...
Oh, like when Luai comes and says, this is the only thing of Luai's I fucking...
Oh, that was a good statement, eh?
Good statement. I've got no friends on the footy field.
Just brothers and enemies.
Just brothers and enemies. That's the only thing positive I'll take from him. But
I did think, I felt that was a bit weird.
It was,
but I get it. I fully get it.
I love respect. I love all that sort of stuff. But there's a place for it, and that's not after the fucking haka.
No, that's when you give him the shove, and then it's all on. It's all on. You're all on. But I mean, but it's insane that Brandon had a he was throwing himself into everything.
Subbed himself off.
Come on, Madge. That's probably one thing.
Yeah.
Man, that cost us.
And because when Fozzie came on, he was great.
Well, his defensively, he's not going to miss anyone.
Three hit-ups in a row in their own 20 just to put pressure on. That's why we got...
that's why we got
before we got subbed, and that's when we started getting a bit of momentum again.
That was a massive oversight from the coaching staff, I think. I think if they had their time again, they'd look at that and go, shit, we should have got Brandon off a bit earlier.
Like 10 minutes earlier.
Because he'd just sub himself off.
Yeah.
Like, were they watching the game? Because Foreign was going to come in at some point anyway.
But I loved it. Even before they scored that try, the commentators were like, shit, fuck, Brandon's looking very, very sluggish right now. He's like, look, I'm trying to get back. And then they scored the try, and they said the same thing again. And he's just here like, sub. He's
just like, touch, yeah, ball, I'm off.
Yep.
Maggie, come on, Maggie noodles. So that's probably that in itself. Was a game changer, I think.
Yeah, it is. And
just getting that
it's so small percentages,
right. Yeah, getting that.
Yeah.
But like you said, commentators could see it, we could have seen it. It's like, why is he still on the field? Because you know what Brandon's like, he's not very good at reserving himself.
No, and because he's
which is why he's good.
It's because he's a passionate.
Yeah.
He's passionate as, and that's probably what they sort of rely on a little bit.
Yeah.
But then also there comes the, because
I thought he would have had do the standard 10 minutes before half time, come off, and then have 10 minutes off for the first half, and then come in.
Every other game, he's come off 10 minutes after the first half, and then 20 minutes stint, and he comes back on for the last 10. But
I'm not a big fan of that.
Actually, here's another one I'll throw at you. The Jesse Bromwich situation.
Yes, we were talking about that too. Plays 20 minutes and doesn't come back on.
Yeah.
What a waste of a spot.
It is, I think that's once again, that comes down to that poor management as well.
Yeah, I think they maybe have kept Jesse in because they made him the captain.
Yeah.
Possibly. I love Jess and he's been a great player, but I just felt like that spot probably should have been Tapper's.
Yeah, and then Luai can be, can still play that same role, but come off actually as an impact player, not a reserve. Because it was 3 games in a row. Every game he's come off at the 20-minute mark, eh?
Yeah, and then just not come back on.
Like it's odd.
It's odd for a front rower.
Yeah.
Just to do 20 at the start and that's it.
I don't think he'll be captain next year. He can't.
Fisher Harris will be.
Yeah.
I'll say that now. Has to be.
You reckon?
Yep. The big fish. He played a great game.
I reckon old Hughesy might be, eh?
Hughesy? Oh, I don't know. Well, he wouldn't be my first pick.
Even Hiku, to be honest. I wouldn't mind Hiku.
Hicks could definitely do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I've always preferred a front row captain. I don't know.
What about Tuivasa-Sheck though, when he was captain?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I prefer someone in the middle.
Why though? Because
I just like it. I don't know.
I'm a big fan of the best person. Once again, the coach situation is captain.
Yeah, but I reckon Fisher Harris would be the best still.
But he I don't know. I'm actually quite torn about that because I think he's more of a guy that you just let him do his fucking job. Don't need to worry about making the decisions.
I can see that. Argument. But he just, he still would be my pick. I think Hughesy would be in there.
I've got no problem with that though.
Yeah, and I've got no problem with Hughesy. I think Hughesy's in the conversation, but Pet would be I reckon he'd be a good captain actually, Pet.
Yeah, that's who I'd sort of lean on to, the veteran sort of.
Fuck, he played good too, man.
Yeah.
So underrated. On defence, he was mean, chasing those high balls, even though Mitt was swallowing them. He was still banging them. Our
kick chase was actually terrible, now I think about it. Like, we jumped. We were just jumping for the sake of jumping, not actually going for the ball.
I know. If you're just doing that, you just don't jump. You just get set and ready to.
And then one time we did jump.
Yeah.
And we got caught offside, and it should have been a fucking try.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Couple of points why Aussie won. What do you think? Won it for them?
So just their composure. I think Latrell Mitchell to me was their best player.
Yeah.
Not Liam Martin. Liam Martin was just the enforcer. It's all good, but what he did at the back though, he was playing a centre role as a fullback, doing that. So he got to so that meant Tedesco could stay on that right side and cover that because it was a simple game plan, especially when it's 30, 40 metres out. It's just going to be going one direction. They're going to target away from Tedesco.
Yeah.
So, and it was, that's where I think they won it because they took the goal line pressure and then converted it downfield and
they get down the other end. Yeah. I think that the just in the middle it's so key. Like having Brandon that fucked. Just still like hanging by a thread in there. I think they were good enough to know he's stuffed.
They were way fitter than I say.
Yep,
they were way fitter.
Yep.
Like Cameron Murray's a fit guy too, and
they're just a bit more of a mobile pack if you look at them in general, and that's what we're trying to get at. Remember when we had, if you're playing taps at 13?
That's true. And it was good. Nas back on the bench too.
Oh, definitely, that was good.
Shit, that's
a lot better.
That's a masterstroke sort of situation. Like
we should have just done that from the start.
And having
2 second rowers playing second row, that was good.
Yes, we wanted a big forward pack and stuff like that, but Kenny Bromwich is the fit guy of the team as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I like leaving him out because he's got the experience as well.
Yeah,
especially on the edge, and he can make things happen. I don't know if
it was just odd swapping over Isaiah Papali'i.
And
from left to right. Yeah, Nick Water plays on that side for the Sharkies. But it was odd, I think.
It was a bit, It was a bit
Once again, that comes back to that coaching decisions, and it was all good though because Papali'i had a good game on that side.
Yeah, that's right. I think he's probably more capable. That's probably why.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nikora was good, but I think he played really good off the bench that other week.
Yeah, I know.
So I was thinking, they'll keep K. I like those K-Brom Ice Pap starting.
Yeah.
And Nikora coming into those positions. Interesting. I don't think K-Brom deserved to be dropped, in my opinion. I think he would have just given us another option.
I wonder if he was injured or something. They just...
Like a niggle or something?
And that's why. But, when Leota, he was massive too when he came on. Shit, we missed him all World Cup, I reckon.
Yeah. And I think the other thing with Leota as well is probably he was a bit underdone because he only had that first game and a few weeks off.
Yeah.
So,
man, I hope we keep him because he's one of the he's a young guy too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not that old. No, he's just
so
probably,
it's
like the oldest players we've probably got is like Jesse
Hiku.
Brom, Hiku, Fozza, and the rest are all pretty young. Like
very young, man.
probably Raps is probably in the senior group as well. I'd say.
Yeah.
But you've got Dell there as well, who's actually,
Raps,
I think he's a bit younger than Raps. So you still got Dell on the team. So once, I think Dell, and then CNK was good, eh?
Fuck, he
was a lot better.
He shut us up. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, it's good though. Like, I'd rather be shut up and him play well.
Oh, absolutely.
Us
Any
be
day of the
proven
week.
right again.
Yeah, we don't like that. It's nice being right, but shit, not in that situation.
All right, so now we're out of sync. I need the page. This one. So we'll go into this. No, he won't. He's got it again. He's done it again.
Now watch me do my dance. I'm the player of the day. Player of the day.
Oh, that ended abruptly.
Abruptly.
All right, I was just grabbing another beer. Sorry about that. So we're going to run with the most valuable Kiwi of the whole World Cup tournament. And we'll probably just throw out the three kind of key players we think, and then pick one from the bunch. So a couple of special mentions, I guess.
You can start. You can go.
I'll go. Okay, first special mention. I'm going to go Fisher Harris. Very consistently just being a badass motherfucker.
Yep, he's scary.
And he's immense. He was great in that Australian game. And just for the other reasons, the Fish is just doing the Fish shit. Jerome Hughes, he didn't have that many games, but even though he did kick on the first and that last one, apart from that, well, only young too. He's surely just going to get better.
How old is he?
Well, he's not the youngest, but I think he's around 26.
So he's still fucking got another 6.
Especially as a halfback.
Yeah, man. Halfbacks are longevity, aren't they?
And then just for his consistency over the whole tourney, I'll have to give the player of the tournament, Joey Manu, obviously. Joseph Manu gets it for me. At times I think he played a lot better against Australia.
Yeah.
Wasn't so much in the play.
Yeah.
But that looked good.
What we talked about that was we nullified Tedesco, they nullified Manu.
But I also feel like he wasn't trying to jump in and attack a lot.
No.
Which was good because it kind of hopefully just gave Jerome and Dylan. Dylan was good in that game because he was running the ball. So, I'll go Joey Manu for my most valuable Kiwi of the tourney. Who would you go, mate?
Oh, you already know who I'm going to say, but...
Well, give us a couple of others.
Yeah, so actually I'm going to go P. Hicks because he did nothing wrong, man, and he was superlative.
Solid, bro. Solid.
He
even to the death of that game, he almost got that try for us.
Exactly.
When he had no right to.
He's got his value. I'm going to go sort of outside the box here a little bit, actually.
Yeah, well, you might as well do something different to me if you can.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Fozzie. I think him off the bench was immense this whole World Cup, and he made a difference. He slowed down the play. He steered the ship in the right direction. Did what he needed to do to come back on, and the other fellas finished the game off. So I think that as a bench player is what you want, and
definitely.
And it was so valuable. I think
would have been really valuable if he came on earlier in that game.
It's great that we poo-pooed him right at the start of the season a little bit.
Yeah.
How he'd never make the squad again. And
we thought he was kind of done. I did. Yeah. But he had a really good run from halfway through the season to the end. Yeah.
And then when he played that game against Tonga, it sort of solidified his spot in that 14 jumper.
Yeah.
And shit, I hope he gets a bit more, because is he still got in the Titans?
Yep. Yeah. Quite a bit of money. So I'd say he's still got a couple of 3 years in him.
Yeah. And I think what's going to follow is he could probably bring someone through like Drew Russell King through with him.
Yeah.
And
it'd just be good to have in the team.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you say, having someone like him come on when you're under the pump would have been great 10 minutes earlier, man. But when he does come on, he's been actually brilliant, eh? Yeah. So,
and then obviously MVP Joseph Manu. Shit, you can't look past that. He would probably be close to one of the best players of the tournament.
Yeah. He'd be up there in the conversations.
It'd have to be, and it's hard to put into words sometimes. He like that last game last week. He did too much.
Yeah.
But he still did enough to be good, and apart from he did one thing I was pissed off about actually on the weekend. He didn't catch that fucking first high ball on the full. He let it bounce.
Yeah, that's right.
That ticked me off.
Don't let it bounce, mate.
But other than that, you think of a more consistent player in the World Cup.
Not doing the type of shit he was doing either. Like consistency and then also a freak. Sorry, my toes are freezing. Just gonna turn the air down a bit. Okay, off for a little bit. Sweet, yeah. So there you go, Joey Manu. You've got yourself a good. It's just annoying that we're not. I hate to harp on about it, but it's annoying that we're not talking about Joseph Tapine in that way.
No,
because he didn't get to play in his preferred position.
Yeah, it's hard. That sucks as well. Like I was in my mind thinking, hey Joseph, but I was like, I can't say anything about it because he wasn't great, but he was still good.
He was still good.
Like
he would have been
defensively, he was awesome, but
everywhere.
But in his position, he got found wanting a little bit. Like
it's just hard when you're going away from what you do every week.
Yeah. I think reflecting back on it, that's what they'll go and how they always have a debrief and stuff like that.
Do you know what would have really helped? Would have solved a lot of this shit. Is if Tohu Harris would just come back and play, because he's really developed his ball playing. Because he's a big fella, but he's got good feet, good passing game. Imagine if we had him at 13, it just would have solved that problem. And then Taps can play up front, and he's not. Even though he's big, he's got a really good passing game on him.
And he's so composed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I mean,
shit. He's like an Isaiah Yeo sort of equivalent.
But
big.
I mean,
I agree with that so much, man.
Imagine if Tohu Harris was here. Come back, bro.
Get your bloody ass back in the Kiwis.
I dare say we probably would have won the tournament. I just felt like that. There's a couple of little missing cogs in there, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely.
Imagine if he was there, eh? Oh.
See, now you're getting me excited for the Warriors.
He stays injury free. Don't play him at prop. So this is another thing. The Warriors, don't play him at prop, please. Just using him as a battering ram. Jeez. It's be the death of me. Anyway. So
fucking hell.
So we'll wrap the other game that was played, which is an actually humdinger. Quite a few errors in it, though, if you go back and watch it from both teams. So England versus Samoa. Sam, he tipped them to bloody get one up over England. I just thought they were being way too clinical, but doesn't mean shit. You judge off your last game, and Samoa got the biscuits then. Got a couple of points from that game, mate. Who do you feel?
So I hate to say it, but Jerome Luai
was really good.
He was really good, and it sucks because he's a dickhead.
What even better than him being good was Stephen Crichton being good.
So I forgot he's only 22.
Who?
Stephen Crichton.
Yeah, he's only young, man.
He's 22. And
he's been in the Penrith system in the top
since
3-4 years, nearly.
Since he was 18, obviously. And I just think how far that guy can go.
Bro, and I think, you reckon he'll just stay at Penrith to play in a good team? Because I'd love to see him have...
It'll be interesting next year because they lost a lot of players.
Yes.
They've lost, Cacao, they've lost...
yep.
So they've lost some key players, and it'll be...
They've just got a lot of outside backs, eh?
They've got a good back line. Like, it's pretty much Samoa back line. And then Cleary.
And they got Dylan Edwards, but if Dylan Edwards gets injured, he was playing fullback, wasn't he? Crichton? He was, eh?
Who? Dylan Edwards?
Crichton, if Dylan got injured. Was he stepping into fullback?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did, which is not bad.
It gets us the same as the Joey Manu kind of conversation.
It is. It is. And Joseph Swali'i.
Yeah, once again, how do you fit him in? You obviously want to get, if you're him, you want to be able to maximise your time playing NRL and get the most money as you can. And
the sombrero will look after all.
You get paid a bit more for playing fullback, so that's always like a conversation, I guess.
But it's okay. Here comes a situation where women into rugby are now professional sports players. You change the system to suit.
Yeah, true.
Because you pay the best players. It doesn't matter what position you are. You pay the best players.
Yeah, Stephen Crichton's been good to see him go well.
Yeah.
So Elite's bloody. He came on leaps and bounds. Like the very first game.
Yeah.
Like, oh. But, he was still learning how to be a fullback in that game.
Yeah, exactly. It was a second game at fullback. Oh, well, internationally.
Against England, who looked super well drilled.
Yeah.
So I think England went like this the whole tournament. And Samoa obviously started like fucking here and just went...
It's, I think, it's good Paulo being cleared for this weekend.
Yeah, it gives them the utmost opportunity to actually hopefully crack them.
They've got those key forwards in there that, they have to... I think that's where they'll probably lose the battle a little bit against Aussie. But
I just think Aussie are just too mobile as well. It's like the game's a bit different. Like even with the Kiwis pack, they're trying to play that we were just big.
Yeah.
And that only works for part of the game.
Yeah, exactly. So with that England Samoa also, I reckon the reason why England, they went there very complacent. They didn't expect Samoa to be up in their face.
I think they guess they might have been there for a little bit.
Yeah, and then they didn't take into account how much their connections grew over the tournament.
Oh yeah,
and their X factor was effectively the winner of the day. So, and that's where England didn't have anything tournament. They were methodical in what they did as a game of rugby league.
That kind of,
but they had no X factor.
Like straight out flair. Yeah. I mean, a few of their players were really good, like we're saying. Herbie was good.
Dom Young was good.
But
all he did was finish, though. We've got to figure that. But
that's his job, though.
Yeah.
I guess, but you do expect a bit more from wingers these days.
Oh, exactly.
The other centre was good, Watkins, even though he got found a couple of times in defence, but he'd had a really good tournament. The halves were pretty good. They went. I don't know how England didn't get. If you look at the way England play, you think going to a golden point suited them to a T.
Perfectly, because it's structured.
But they couldn't figure it out, which I just found so weird. But at the end of the day, Samoa get the win with a cracker of a field goal from Stephen Crichton. So credit to the boys, to us Samoa. And it's good for the game, especially if they're beating a different team, not us.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's a different conversation if they beat us, but... It should really, in all seriousness, like if I want to go back to the Kiwis game, I think it should have been us playing them in the final.
Well, to be fair, the final was played
yesterday.
Saturday morning.
Saturday
morning.
It looked and felt like one, eh?
Absolutely. It was final-esque.
The bloody brilliant game. Even though we lost, it had me on the edge of the seat the whole time, which then broke my heart at the end. Sweet. Preview, Aussie versus a Samoa. Okay, who you going? Why?
So, once again, we talked about it last night on the show, and yes, I want Samoa to win, but I think Aussie is just too good. I think they've come out of that game, a bruising game, injury free.
Yep. And
I think that's
so key. With a plan,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, that plan, they soaked up what we were giving them, which we were giving them a full on taste most of the game.
Yeah.
They just stayed, like you said, composed, and then when the weakness showed, they went for it.
I think it'll be close, sort of 60 minutes. I think it'll be, because there's a lot of passion. The first half, it'll be...
Yeah.
But then the first 20 minutes of the second half will be who wins that battle up front, and then who also, executes and less mistakes. Because then if you win that first 20 after the first half... You can play defence.
You can then start kicking it back into the corner, jam them down, and which Aussie are bloody good at.
And that's where I think Aussie are too good. Like they showed it against us.
I think Aussie are prepared to wait to this last minute. Yeah. Well, not wait, but they'll. I think they made quite a few errors though, and I don't think they'll make the same amount against Samoa again.
They won't.
So I really agree with you there. And it just reminds me of when when people used to play the All Blacks a few years ago.
Yeah,
the All Blacks were prepared to grind the whole game out for 80 minutes.
Well, yeah, exactly.
They never panic. They just know.
Exactly.
They just had to get, because they backed themselves, and they knew if they got in the right position with 1 minute to go, they could get a try. And
exactly.
And I think Kangaroos will be the same, and they've done it to us, motherfuckers. Yeah, so it'll
be 2 tries in it. If Samoa win, it'll be
like similar,
like so close.
Yeah,
1 point. But if Oz win, it'll be 2 tries. And depending on how that, like I said, that first 20 minutes in the second half go, it's either going to be, who's going to tussle in that 20 minutes, or it's going to be a blowout because,
the thing is, like, even though on Mark Peard Sport, I said Samoa 13 plus. So I went back and watched quite a bit of the Kiwis Australia game in sections today. I just, if Aussie do that, if they make less errors, but I feel like that game plan they used against us, which we are better than Samoa, I can see this could possibly actually be quite ugly for Samoa if, if they don't try and dominate from the get go, and they'll have to like pour it on.
So I reckon I talk about Jerome Lai all the time. I reckon he's a player that could self implode because he's hyping himself up too much.
Yeah.
And that's I love players that are confident, and cockiness is a little bit too, that's also a weakness, I think, because Cleary knows exactly what type of player he is.
That's the other thing I was going to raise, is that Cleary's played a lot with him.
He knows his weaknesses.
Cleary is he is the better player, even though he had a bit of a marginal game against the Kiwis.
Yeah, but
we were putting them under quite a bit of pressure.
Exactly. So I guess sorry to interrupt on that.
No, you carry on.
It's someone come out and said, everyone talks about when a 6 or a 7 has a shit game, blah 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 blah, but they don't actually see all the micro skills in behind everything else, or everything else. And he wrote a massive column. It was a fucking good read. I'll find it later on.
Send it through.
It was actually really. I was like, and it made me think about his whole his game as a whole.
As a whole, not just when
not just ball. He like I've said this many times. He's a young fellow with a fucking caudal head,
Yeah.
And it's, and then once watching the highlights back in the game, and those times where we got put under pressure. That's because his decisions.
Yeah, that's right.
Created that.
And the other thing too, if you look at Cleary, he generally, like, for his standards, that wasn't his best game against the Kiwis.
No.
He doesn't do that twice usually.
Oh no. And
so I'm feeling he'll be in a bit of a mood. So even though I said Samoa 13 plus, I reckon. I think I want Samoa to win. I don't like Aussie winning, so I want. But the heart's saying Toa Samoa win.
Yeah. But
I think Aussie is going to make a statement here.
I think they are too, and
it might be something like, I don't want to say it, but
40 points to 12 or something.
Yeah, like 46-12 or something. 46-50, might push a 50. I don't know. Samoa have been going really good, but I think England made quite a few errors, and so did Samoa in that game. I think Aussie have just got a better plan, more mobile forwards.
Don't get me wrong, the fairy tale side of Samoa is
it's great. I want to see them. I want them to win.
It's good for the tabloids. It's good for everything like that.
But if I'm sitting down and like analysing the game, which is why Aussie are favourites, obviously.
Yeah.
I'd have Australia winning. I think just having Yo and Cameron Murray in the same team's like so fucking annoying.
And like bringing Cameron Murray off the bench.
Oh yeah.
And he's the most fittest guy probably on the field.
And he's just been told, like, don't reserve anything.
Yeah.
Be a nutcase.
So literally he's got a license for 30 minutes to do what the fuck he wants. As a player, that's the greatest thing you could probably hear.
Yeah. I mean, having that, to lose a calibre of players they did and still have that team they have.
Yeah.
But I really think what had happened with that is the players that Aussie lost, it almost has suited them a bit better.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because they're probably more suited to the modern game.
Yeah, I got you with that one. Yeah, I got you.
They're a bit more slider, but they're really fit. And they can hang in there. But even though they're fit, like, they can still put on brutal hits and shit.
No, exactly. And because they're still bloody professional footy players. And they do it week in, week out against the same players because they know how, NRL is great like that because it doesn't matter if you're, the fittest or the fattest or the fastest or the, it's, you know how those players play.
Yeah.
It's easy money sometimes.
Could be scary outcome.
Interesting though.
Yeah, it's going to be. I'm looking forward to watching it actually, and not having to be so bloody stressed the fuck out. I was nervous all week.
Yeah, man. I was nervous as too.
And then that last minute, like, the heart.
No, it was when Hughes kicked it on the first, when we had the momentum, I was like, we're done. And I conceded 5 minutes before the end.
Yeah. You just can't do that against Australia, man.
Man.
You literally got to take every chance and fucking
hindsight's a great thing.
It is. But that disallowed try was a try. Anyway.
I'll fight that to the end of my days too.
Your money right in the end, who the man though? Pile up the cash, then I do that money dance though. 50K for the beat in the event, son. What's the light when your house is like a mansion? Your money.
All right, the best bet brought to you today by Better Beer.
Better
Beer. Day for it. It says day for it. 87 cals. They were good. Just seen them in the shop, so I got them. How good? Very good. Actually, not too bad. Actually, I wouldn't say very good. I'd probably give them a 6 out of 10. Best bet. So what I'm going to go with is Samoa, getting the first try. And the player, but he lightning won't strike twice. Because I do like the way he's been playing. Stuff it. I'll go Tim Lafai. Any time.
You've had a hard on from Motuno, I reckon.
Yeah, he's good. I still can't believe he's not playing the NRL. He was so good for the Dragons and the Doggies. He has the odd error, but he's a strong carrier of the ball, and he can always runs a good bloody line. So that's what my best bet is. You got one?
Yeah. Okay. Just because of the weakness of that side that they have, I reckon the Fox gets a heady.
Hat-trick for the Foxy.
Yep. Just because that's their weak wing.
Oh, yeah. It's not Brian's side.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
That's just See, how's your mother sort of bet?
The other best bet is to get on the Warriors.
Oh, do you reckon it's
making
fake?
the top 8.
So I did a post, sorry. It's like, Sam, you're one of the winners of our special event. See my latest post, congrats.
Yeah, I reckon it's quite fake.
Yeah. It's actually a fucking proper thing, though.
What the fuck is it, though?
Yeah,
Look at the comments.
I know.
Has he actually won something here, guys?
I think it's a scam, though. Yeah.
Looks like it.
But it's actually on a proper fucking page. Funny as. I don't need it.
You need to win that.
Put it on the Fox.
Fox hat-trick, 3 tries or more. All right, so that'll do us, I think. Go Samoa. Aussie probably won, but hey, anything can happen in rugby league.
Rugby league.
And that's a story and a half, isn't it? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening.
And cheer the Sindo.
Cheer the Sindo. And peace. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, afternoon, morning.
Wherever you listen from.
Yeah, exactly.
Maggie.
Well done, mate. You've done all right. And we'll see you later. But we'll go back to the...
Now watch me do my...
No.
You know what it's like. Ready for that. Take 'em all. You got the
bit of a
measure
mess.
of your man, and you know that you can't
All over the place.
go all the way. Give it to him. Yeah, give him a taste. Give him a taste of Kiwi. Show him you're the best. You're the best. Give him a taste of Kiwi. You're
Better than the rest.
give him a taste.